We're headed back to the exciting world of knitting. Now, Judith started about 7 years ago, and now you can find her bringing yarn almost everywhere she goes. She introduces us to the second basic step of knitting, which is the purl stitch.
Where do we get started? For the purl stitch, the main difference is that your yarn is going to be held in the front. So you're knitting away, knitting away. When you get to a purl stitch, you're going to want to bring that yarn forward to the front, and you're going to take your needle and push it. Instead of going away from you, you're going to go through the front loop and push towards you.
Okay.
And you're going to wrap your yarn around like you normally would.
Yeah.
And push it back through the hole and pop it right off.
Okay, and one thing that I realized was you really have to let it fall off, and you've kind of got to push it off, or else it's just going to stay stuck there for a while.
It's just going to stay there, and then you're going to make all these duplicate stitches or drop a stitch, and it's all
okay. Hey,
all
you have mentioned dropping a stitch a few times. What does that mean?
A drop stitch would be if you're knitting away, and then this happens to fall off, and it doesn't get back on a needle, and it unravels.
I need some help.
Okay, so you're going to want to, this does not pull on me.
Okay, we're having problems already. Maybe it's best to actually just take a look and see what the difference is between a knit stitch and a purl stitch.
Yeah, when you're doing a knit stitch and a purl stitch at the same time, knit on one side, purl on the other, you get what's called a stockinette stitch. And so this is the stockinette on the right side. You see you have a bunch of V's, and it's very flat and smooth, and your normal garter stitch right here is bumpy. You've got these garter bumps that you see. So this is the right side, but when you're purling on the wrong side, this is what it's gonna look like.
And this looks so good. It's just a little bit more sophisticated stitch than maybe what you'd see on a scarf, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's the second stitch you learn after everything, after you learn the knit stitch. So being able to create the garter stitch and the stockinette stitch, and even do some ribbing, which is right here. This is a knit, a purl, a knit, a purl, a knit, a purl. So you can still do a lot with it.
You have a nickname because you don't just knit by yourself, and what is that?
It's Knittin with Kitten. I'm constantly knitting with my cats. I have 3 of them, Maggie, Charlotte, and Myrtle. They're always around me. I've always loved cats. So it's just like, it was something that I would say when I posted a photo, and it's like, oh, just knitting with my kittens. And then I was like, you know what, I love this too much. I'm gonna make it my name. It's gonna be who I am.
All right, well, pay attention, Meow. Judith told Belinda the entire time she was purl stitching, she was actually looping backwards. So, but in a few minutes, we're going to do a show and tell of some of Judith's latest projects. So you're going to stick around and see that. And I will ask Belinda tomorrow when she gets back why she didn't knit me a sweater or a scarf or something, right?